Welcome back to the Cowboys CanFan podcast. No intro music whatsoever on the road trip post-game show. And to the point where AJ doesn't even want to talk about it.
What is this?
I am here.
Is this the third time we've done no?
This is
No intro?
The third
No
no
intro?
intro music episode.
But we do have booze this time, or we have been drinking the last couple. The ones in Minnesota we weren't drinking. My voice is on the fritz. Obviously, we just got back to our Airbnb in downtown Dallas. We were just live for the Cowboys win. Oh, he's got a couple crackums. Ad's got a couple crackums. We were live for the Cowboys ass whooping of the New York Giants on Thanksgiving. Man, guys, I'm going to say this before we jump into anything. You've been to, 3 or 4 Cowboys games. You've been to a couple. I've been to a few. This was the first time I've ever been to a Cowboys game where it legitimately felt like a home game. Usually, like last year against the Raiders, there was a lot of Raiders fans.
There was a lot of Raiders fans. Not a lot of Giants fans out today, which was nice.
Giants fans. It legit felt like, wow, we actually have home field advantage at this one. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the game didn't start off how we wanted it to.
Slow start.
Slow start. It wasn't like the mini game where we basically dominated the whole time. It's a division matchup. Division matchups are weird, man. It doesn't matter what the records are. Division matchups are always going to be highly contested games.
Well, the fact that the first half of the game, it was I felt very nervous because we were still charging up the field, but the interceptions from Dak and just the way that the Giants were playing in that first half, definitely worrisome in terms of how the boys were performing for that first little bit. But
totally.
Ultimately, they came up big.
Scored enough points.
We got Dallas Cowboys Chris in the chat saying, "AJ, what's up, bro? Why don't you let Dallas Cowboys Chris know that you're all right?"
Oh, I'm golden. Dallas Cowboys Chris. Hey, yeah, thanks. That's where we were last night.
Yeah, we went to Dallas Cowboy Chris's place last night. Had an amazing time. Had a great time.
Showed up on the Cowboys Huddle podcast. Shout out to the Cowboys podcast
Cowboys
Huddle.
You know what's crazy? The last couple days have just kind of been a little bit of a whirlwind.
Oh yeah.
If it wasn't driving down here from KC or meeting Chris, meeting Kilo C, like we've been for a vacation. It's felt very busy.
Yeah. Oh, it was definitely anything but a vacation.
But fun though. But in a fun way.
lot of good times. Like you said, Kilo C, who's in the super chat right now, moderating that mother, brought up a good point. The weather. We weathered the bad storm. Today was not a tailgating day.
No.
That's for sure.
Anyone that wasn't at AT&T Stadium will let you know. It was hammering rain. It was not. The weather was not forgiving. My feet were soaked. We had to hide out underneath a tree. But at the end of the day, what happened? We got the dub.
Yeah, we got the dub. And guess what? Very interesting stat lines.
Oh, we're going to the stats. Let's do it.
Well, we could.
Let's do it.
There's a big question. As you bring up the stat lines, first and foremost, AJ, there's a big question in the chat that's directed to you. Did AJ get his Whataburger?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I did.
He got it on the way to the stadium. We stopped.
It was good.
AJ got his Whataburger. Oh, here we go.
Crack
him if you got him, son.
That's for AJ's Whataburger.
If you got him, son. AJ. Let's hear some of these weeds.
Let's get this stat bullshit over with.
Let's get some stats.
So interestingly enough, we had Dak Prescott. Actually, I'm going to read Dak Prescott's stat. Now, he threw for 30.
Yep.
Or threw 30 times, 21 completions, 261 yards, 2 tutties, 2 interceptions. So I think they had the ball a lot more.
Sorry, what was his attempts?
He had 30 attempts.
30 attempts.
Dak had 30, which is
more than what we like.
Nah, that's like fringe. That's like fringe. Like we don't want to go over 30.
But
30's their max.
And Cowboys did have the ball for 34 minutes. So
we don't. I wouldn't say dominated, but we definitely held the time of possession for 4 more minutes than the G-man. But I still the thing with these interceptions. And not even so much the first one where the guy made a very good play on it. The second one was the issue. Literally, I would say about 35 seconds before the second interception happened, I looked at you and at Adam and Alex and said, I don't give a fuck what happens on this drive. We need to go away with 3 points.
Yeah.
We cannot have a fumble. We cannot have an interception. And it honestly felt like the next play we threw a pick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's exactly what happened.
That's the problem. The interceptions obviously suck, but it's the timing of them. Like it would have been a tie game at that point. If we don't throw that second interception, we would have ended up getting 3 on the board. It would have been 10-10. And the game wasn't lost by any means at that point, clearly, because we ended up winning. But I just don't like these ill-timed interceptions that seem to be a little bit of a trend that are happening to us.
I'd like to know Dak's throwing percentage in the first half versus the second half.
Like total?
Yeah, because it felt like he was throwing. It felt like we were throwing.
Or you mean tonight?
Just tonight. It
Just
felt like
tonight.
we were throwing a lot more in the first half of the game than the second half. And that's when you look at things like going either 3 and out or throwing an interception. It's like, boys, run the ball, kick the field goal. Let's walk away with those 3 points. Definitely, a lot of people were predicting. A lot of score predictions were 31-13 or 31-10, and we almost saw that today.
Yeah, pretty close.
But we missed. We shanked that field goal kick.
Yeah, Maher actually had.
He's human.
He's human.
He's human.
Maher
Yeah.
had an uncharacteristic miss in, I think it was the third or fourth quarter. But man, it was good out there tonight. AT&T seemed like a Cowboys haven tonight, which was nice.
Well, I'm going to throw out a couple stats to you, and then I
Yes.
want to hear your responses. So outside of that Dak Prescott stat, we had, here's three things
Let's hear
to
it.
consider, okay?
Yep.
Zeke Elliott, 16 carries, 92 yards, 5.8 average, 1 touchdowns.
Zeke was doing it.
Pollard, 18 carries, so on par, 60 yards, 3.3 average.
See, that's the thing with these guys. Everyone's always like shouting for one or the other, or even like I think now it's been predominantly cheering for Tony Pollard. Zeke can still do it.
Yeah.
Zeke was the guy tonight. Zeke was the better back, and I'm not even going to say there's a better back out of the two. It's we need both of these dudes. And if TP20 gets 3.8 yards per carry or whatever he had, and then Zeke's got 5 or whatever, I don't care as long as together they're having production and having an impact on the game, which they did tonight.
And they got over 30 carries between the two of them. So
Which we like.
CeeDee Lamb also getting another 106 yard game. 100
CD
yard
broke
game.
the century mark.
Yeah, 106 yards.
What I thought Gallup was going to break that.
Did Gallup? Yeah. What was
does
no,
Gallup?
Gallup
get?
only had 63 yards. Well, only.
I agree. I felt like Gallup was. I thought Gallup was getting lots
Gallup
of
was a
yards
target
at the start.
for a lot of it.
Well, how about this also for the clone zone? We had Peyton Hendershot getting a rushing carry for 2 yards and a touchdown.
Clone zone.
Then we have Jake Ferguson leading the tight ends, 3 receptions, 57 yards. So some big catches there.
Yep.
And then we had Dalton Schultz.
Schultz.
Dalton Shorts were trying to get away from him in the
Then we
game.
had Dirty Shorts here.
Big hand baller.
4 receptions,
Big hand baller
31
Shorts.
yards, and 2 touchdowns. So
Schultz had 2 touchdowns.
Schultz had
Yeah.
2 touchdowns?
Yeah, dude.
Did not know that.
I did not
at
know
all.
that.
Did
I
not
knew
know
he
that
had
at
that
all.
last one. Man, it's like, I mean, we started drinking at about
Noon.
today. So
Easily, yeah.
By the time the game was going, we had been drinking quite a bit.
I'm going to go get those nuggets in about 2 minutes here.
AJ.
Yeah, go get them.
AJ Uber eated some nuggies.
It's Thanksgiving. Something you have to eat, right?
We're eating chicken.
But what do you guys think? Like, who? Okay, let's just get into it before AJ goes and gets his nuggets. Which is this one might be highly contested. Who's the Kraken player of the game?
Ooh.
Definitely not Dakota Prescott, that's for sure.
No, definitely not. Definitely not Dak.
Micah Parsons.
You going Micah?
Yeah, I'm going to go Micah because I think he had a pretty solid game. I think he only walked away with 1 sack. I don't know what his tackle for losses are, or
He had 2 sacks.
2 sacks.
2 sacks,
Micah?
2 tackles. But also, I just want to throw
Kraken
this
player of
out
the
there.
game.
We were looking for him to show
you
up,
go.
and he led the team tonight. Damone Clark, 6 tackles, 1 assist. So, and he was all over the field
6
tonight.
tackles, 1 assist. Micah Parsons was 2 sacks, and what was his tackles?
2 sacks, 2 tackles.
I mean, the sacks to me equal more than a tackle. So I mean, Damone Clark, that's a good stat line though, for sure. That's a good
So
stat line.
Ad, you're going Micah for your Kraken.
I'm going to vote for Micah for
AJ.
for Kraken.
Give us your Kraken. Kraken player for the game. This
Kraken
is a
player
this is a
of
tough
the
one.
game. I gotta say Ezekiel Elliott. I think that his running when he was running strong, and he made the biggest impact on that game. It's hard. It's fair to argue though that Micah did.
Hey, I agree.
I'm gonna hit chat after you guys say your stuff.
No,
'cause
let's
there's a
hear
couple
it.
of-
Okay, I'll be
I
back
want to
in
hear
a
it. I want
sec.
to hear it. Okay, AJ's going down. I want to hear chat.
So Dallas Cowboys, Chris is saying the tight ends. We have Steve.
clone zone?
Yep, Steve Chili saying Schultze should be the cracking player of the game. Schultze should be cracking player of the game. He has 2 touchdowns at crucial times.
Yep, fair. I see that.
Antoine Fair says Dak because Fox gave him player of the game. And then Jeremiah saying the tight end crew. Ron the Don Smith saying, what about CeeDee Lamb?
Yep.
So it is all over the board right now.
It's tough, and that's how you can tell it was like no one really stood out. A lot of guys had very good games, but no one really stood out. Oh man, it's tough.
I mean, to me, yeah, it would have to be between Micah or Schultze and the clone zone.
Who am I going to go?
Terrence Steele says Surge reboot.
And you know what? I don't hate an offensive line. I don't hate an offensive line decision.
And Tony says he was just being sarcastic about giving it to Dak. Yeah, Dak, because Fox gave it to Dak, which I probably being sarcastic about that.
Okay, well let's go. Okay, you went.
I went Micah Parsons.
Adam went Micah Parsons, the cracking player of the game. AJ went with Zeke because Zeke did have a decent game. He didn't hit the
What was his
century.
stat line though?
He had 90 yards, 15 carries, 92 yards, 5.8 average, and a touchdown.
What's Schulte's line?
Schultz line is 4 catches, 31 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
I mean,
it's tough.
Yeah,
It's tough. I'm gonna go Schultz.
Okay, so we got
I'm gonna go Schultz.
and Ben Pia, who we met while we were going through Walmart. He's saying Dalton is cracking player of the game.
Yeah, that's who I just picked.
Big shout
I
out to
agree.
Ben.
Ben, I agree. I think Schultz had, you know what, 2 touchdowns in a tight game. Oh, it was just weird. Like there was none. Like the Minnesota game,
Yeah.
there was like I don't know 10.
Yeah, you could clearly tell that Dak Prescott was the player of the game in that one, the cracking player of the game. In the Minnesota game.
But the Minnesota game had some big plays. Right?
Yeah,
some big stuff.
The first thing we said when we walked out of this was that there was no big
huge plays, which is
show-stopping
fine.
plays,
Which is fine.
I mean, CD's catch in the end zone, which it was a catch. I mean, that was probably the biggest controversial thing of this game was. And what was with the ref? The refs were like grandstanding us. Yeah. The way that they were starting to approach the call was the fact that they were going to give the touchdown,
and then they didn't. Yeah.
I still don't know. It was disallowed, and I didn't hear what the reasoning was for it being disallowed.
Yeah. Well, there's too much going on in the stands. There's too much going on.
So Ron the Don
really
Smith's asking who was the tight end that jumped over the defender. That was Hendershot. No, Fergalicious.
that was Fergie.
That was Jake Ferguson who did
that was sick. That hurdle.
Yeah, did the hurdle.
That we went nuts.
Yeah.
We went absolutely nuts when Fergalicious hurdled that motherfucker. The guy goes to tackle him. He goes, not today.
Not today.
I'm gonna jump your bitch ass.
A lot of the chat's saying that it's a good ugly win.
It was,
and I agree.
I agree. It was an ugly win. I don't give a fuck if it's ugly or not. A division win is a division win. Like we needed to beat the Giants. We had to beat the Giants. We're basically neck and neck in the wild card race right now. Obviously, both teams are trailing the Philadelphia Eagles. Currently, we need to have the highest wild card spot. If we're not going to have first place in the division, we have to have that top wild card. And today was a step towards us getting that. So I don't care how ugly it was. It's a division win.
Dominic Toretto says it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning. And that's exactly what we'll do today.
I almost had you.
I almost had you. And I have that soundbite just queued up, ready to go. A win is a win. We need it for our record. No one's going to remember a lot of the sloppy plays that happened in this game. I do think that we were able to shut down Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
That was a big point of contention today going into it. If we can shut down Saquon, then we have a chance at winning, and obviously we did. We didn't see a lot of scrambling from Daniel Jones, which is probably to a benefit of us. I definitely thought that because our team was throwing so much pressure on the pass rush, that Daniel Jones didn't have a lot of time to really think what to do. So,
I got some stats for you here.
Okay, let's hear it.
Saquon Barkley, 11 attempts, 11 carries, 39 yards for 3.5.
Shut down. 3.5 yards.
Yeah, he did have a touchdown. He did have a touchdown.
That type of touchdown for a guy like Saquon Barkley, when your whole offensive scheme is around him, that's not a great stat line.
No, and we did talk about this earlier in the week, and I don't even know if we were podcasting when we talked about it, but we did talk about Daniel Jones quite a bit. We call him White or Vanilla Vic because he has some wheels. He was shut down in the run game also.
Yep.
He did not have.
Didn't seem. I don't think he scrambled once.
No, he didn't have the same success the first time we played them, where he was kind of running all over the field. So our biggest worries were Daniel Jones running and Saquon rushing, and predominantly we shut them down. So we like it.
The shutdown defense is what we're starting to see a lot more of.
Oh yeah, let's check our defense. Here, let me get to this here.
I still think, obviously there's been a couple games where our defense has struggled to produce the way that they should.
Yep.
It is an elite defense, bar none.
Our defense played great. We didn't allow much rushing yards. AJ, give us the sack. How many sacks did we have here?
We only had 3 sacks, but we kept their run game to minimal. Let me hop over to the Giants.
Well, Saquon only had 39
yards.
Yeah, so we just brought that up. Saquon wasn't going anywhere. Daniel Jones didn't go anywhere in the running game, which is what we were saying was one of the main things we wanted to shut down going into this game. Us 3 talked. We said if we want to win, we got to shut down Saquon from rushing. We got to shut down Daniel Jones from rushing.
Their backup seemed to be more effective in the run game against us.
Yeah,
Williams,
Gary Brightwell.
Gary Brightwell.
Yeah,
who the hell is he?
Man, he had I think 2. I'd say at least 2 carries back to back. The motherfucker just kept picking up yards. I'm like, who's this? Who's this cat? I don't know who this guy is. Why is he picking up yards on us? So we only had 3 sacks. Who were our sacks? Micah for 2, and then Dorrance Armstrong for 1.
That's all I'm seeing. Let me double check. Yeah.
That's interesting. So Micah went for 2 sacks again. And
he
then
just keeps. Now it's almost like 2 sacks is boring now.
I know. You just expect it.
You need 3.
But, him and Dorrance Armstrong just consistently gets these sacks. And then Micah's Micah. Micah's going to do Micah's things.
Yeah.
Micah's going to do Micah things.
We have Wilson Santiago saying we took advantage of that hurt O-line.
Yep. So the Giants did have a bunch of offensive linemen out going into the game, and you gotta pounce on that.
Which was concerning at the start when Dak was throwing it so much. Although he was connecting with CeeDee Lamb, there was a lot of great chemistry right out of the first series.
Yep.
It was a little worrisome that we were throwing it that amount when it's like, look, they have a hurt O-line, run the ball. Let TP20 get those 5 yards. Let them continue to truck up the field like that. Definitely thought we were not as good on our 1 yard to whatever, 1 yard to first down, 1 yard to goal line. I feel like the team was a little off tonight.
Just on the short yardage
plays.
Games. Yeah. Well,
it was a weird game. I'm gonna say it. It was like
it was
a weird game tonight.
There was
nothing weird to watch.
Nothing exceptional out of the game. Like the
it was just like one of those. Someone said in the chat an ugly win, and that's very cliche.
It was
an ugly win, but we needed to win it, and we did, which is awesome.
To Adam's point, I would say I never felt confident that they were going to be getting the first down. Tonight,
which is rare.
Hey, but I also was always confident we were going to win.
Yeah.
And I kind of remember looking up maybe midway through the third and being like, "Oh shit, we're up."
Oh yeah, now we're going.
Yeah, we're up 27-13. I think at the time.
Now we figured it out.
Yeah,
because the first 2 quarters were kind of like, "Wow, we're in a fight," and then we kind of went into coast mode a little bit. What I will say, anyone that's here right now that hasn't stopped by, drop us a like, drop us a subscribe. We appreciate it.
Don't drop us a deuce.
Don't drop a deuce.
Dallas Cowboys Chris says nuggets, ! Because he saw AJ.
We got those nuggets.
AJ's got some nuggets.
Surge Reboot says that take that reverse out of the playbook.
I agree. Get rid of that shit.
Let's stop being fancy.
They just never work for us.
And
Jet sweeps are okay, but these reverses that we try to do, they just never seem to fucking work.
Sebastian in the chat's bringing up a good point. Let's talk a little bit about the penalties. What about some of the penalties at?
Dude, we had
ended up with
11. We had 11 penalties tonight.
13 and
13 penalties is not
It
good.
ended up being 13. That sucks.
And that's that's 13 accepted.
So there might have been more.
There might have been more.
That's just like,
On the plus side,
can't have that shit, man.
I don't mean to roll these two things into one because they're completely different, but the sacks allowed were 0 by the Cowboys.
That's a good stat.
So
That's a great stat.
Yeah.
0 sacks allowed.
the penalties has been a big issue, and I don't know what's
For
going on with
fucking the
that.
last
Like these,
forever, it feels like.
We're in the point of the season now that there's no, you cannot just say
no
like, oh yeah,
excuses.
there's no excuse. Not like, oh,
Which
okay.
is makes you nervous because if
Yeah.
we're still doing it at this part of the year, if we're still getting 13 penalties at this point of the season, who's to say we're not going to get 13 points or 13 penalties in the wild card round?
And I'm not going to go through
That's
and
the
like
scary point.
I'm not going to go through and nitpick the
No.
penalties. So if someone does, maybe they're like, oh, this happened for this reason.
They're-
blah,
they're-
blah, blah. But 13 is just too much.
13 fucking penalties.
13's a lot. There was definitely a few that were obviously they shouldn't have been penalties on
I'm
us,
pretty
but
sure-
a big majority of them were were probably pretty
I'm pretty sure that's back-to-back Thanksgiving Day games.
with all
I'm
the
pretty
penalties.
sure they had 13
Yep.
last Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So that's back-to-back years for us.
You got
Hey, it's back to
you gotta expect that we're gonna get some bullshit calls, but there
13.
are a few ones, and we've talked about it before, about the boys not being disciplined. It's just you can't have those.
How do
types
you
of
get?
penalties.
How do we get? I mean, obviously, it's a harder thing to do than just asking the question and fixing it. Because if it was just that easy, they would do it. But in your guys' opinions, what is the fix to these fucking penalties? Because this is a problem.
discipline, man. It's a discipline.
But how do you?
scenario.
So how do you fix that? Obviously, you know the answer is discipline. But then how do you go about making your players be more disciplined? Because obviously, whatever they're doing isn't fucking working.
Yeah. Well, I would hope that they would, in practice, just like really hone in on that. I can take a couple penalties, and I'm sure some of them are warranted, given the context. But it's too much when you're giving up almost a full field of play in penalties.
It's too much.
It's too much.
It's
man.
too hard of a question to ask because as professional athletes, like what to make
us as professional athletes.
No, yeah, but I mean, if you're trying to get a professional athlete to be disciplined,
Yeah.
like what can you actually do to them to make it hurt?
No,
for
at this-
accountability, right? At this
At
level,
this point, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
better coaching is what the chat's
I
saying.
see Sebastian saying Zach Martin had a holding penalty, which is rare. Actually, AJ called that one out.
Yeah.
AJ was like,
Well,
they
no,
just, but no, you called it.
I
You're like,
said
did they
I
just
wa-
flag 70?
they did. They
and
did
then we
fla-
watched it, and
and
we're
it-
like,
it did not.
it did not look like it should have.
It looked like to me it looked like a pancake more than anything, and so I think that one was weak, and that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't watch all 13 penalties. However, I can't say that I have it would be hard to have an excuse for 13 penalties.
Yeah.
So let's be generous and say half of them were
Warranted.
arguable. Yeah, exactly. Now we're dealing still with 6 or 12 or 7, and that's too many.
I can't deal. I can't. Even
just
okay.
half.
Yeah, half. You said so. Like AJ said, half. Okay, so even if you go half, right? Half of 13, we're gonna go up a little bit. We're gonna say
7.
We're gonna say 7. We'll say 7 penalties. That's still too many fucking penalties.
Yeah.
13 like today, that is fucking unacceptable. And the same shit is going to happen to us this year
Yep.
when we're in the wild card or in the
Yes.
divisional. I hate seeing these fucking penalties when the game is on the line, the season is on the line. Sure, today is fine, we won. But when you end up playing for your playoff life and you get 13 fucking penalties like we did against San Fran last year, it just absolutely gets very, very frustrating as a fan. And it's like it's one of those things that it's easy to say, oh, better coaching, better discipline, but it's clearly not as simple as that.
And here's the frustrating thing too: we're coming off a game where we won 40-3 with only 6 penalties. Vikings had 7, so that's more on par with what is a kind of regular NFL.
Yeah, 6. I
Game.
think like the average in the NFL is like something like that.
So
13's unacceptable.
This inconsistency of penalties is gonna. That's the scary thing, is it can come in and bite us in the butt at the wrong time.
Bite you in your poo hole
And a little pooper.
in the old brown eye.
Dak needs to be better. Too bad game today, just like the Packers game, but we got the win, the W, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Dak means at least I'd say his interceptions tonight weren't great.
And Kilo C saying Vikings won the game, so they obviously beat the Patriots.
Oh wow!
So the Vikings come.
Vikings bounce
Vikings
back.
are 8-3.
9-2.
9-2.
Well, they played tonight?
Yeah, Vikings played the late game.
Oh shit! There's 3 games.
There was 3 games today.
Damn.
Yeah. There was the
Welcome
Bills.
to the NFL, AJ.
There was Bills, Detroit, Cowboys, Giants, Vikings, Patriots.
In terms of the type of tailgating that we usually do,
Tailgating sucked today.
it was we met a couple cool people, but it was a shitty day.
It's too wet.
Couldn't do much, which was brutal.
It felt like we were in the Pacific Northwest. It was pouring rain. It was kind of instantly like the first 10 minutes of walking around, all of our feet were wet.
Oh yeah.
So it was tough to get a good tailgating scene going, but we still, I mean,
We still did our work.
we still cracked them.
21 Armando 21's in the house saying, "What's up, fellas? Crack them if you got them."
Crack them if you got them, son.
No, we actually met up with some. We always find a way to meet some nice opposition fans and have a good conversation. And today,
I honestly want to crack this, but I don't know if I can.
I'm too pooped.
You're not gonna drink one?
No,
It's been a day.
I don't even know if I can drink it, but I'm gonna.
I want those nuggies. That's all. That's all I'm thinking.
Crack 'em if you got 'em.
Start eating.
Start eating
No,
it, text.
Oh yeah, you can eat on the live stream. It's a live stream.
It's a
dude.
live stream. It's a
Dude, have you
post-game
not
live
seen
stream.
what people do on live streams? There's literally people that have sex on live streams. You can eat nuggets
Hey.
on live stream.
The fans are saying, "Go ahead, AJ, start eating your nuggets."
Yeah, it's been a long day, Armando. It's we've been drinking pretty hard. The game. I mean, we go all in when we're cheering. We're fucking cheering.
Yeah.
So
Gallup looked like 2019 Gallup. Yeah, Gallup absolutely looked like he came. Every time Gallup would, this is bad. Every time Gallup would get a reception, you kind of say to yourself, "Oh, that was Gallup. Gallup caught that reception. Oh, Gallup caught the ball." Not saying that he can't or he shouldn't catch balls. It's just surprising to see Gallup get as much love today, which was nice to see.
he's feeling better. He's
Yeah.
finally getting back in his zone. We need a healthy Gallup. We need that game changer. Michael
Yeah.
Gallup in his heyday, best perimeter receiver in the NFL, best jump ball receiver on the sideline.
How many? What was Dak's total yardage?
I think it was like 2 something. AJ's gonna check it out.
Armando wants to know who are Kraken players. So Alex said,
We all went different.
yeah, Alex said, Ann said Dalton Schultz.
I said Schulte.
I said Micah Parsons, and Alex said CeeDee Lamb.
No, Zeke.
Zeke. So right now we're undecided on who the Kraken player of the game. But out of those 3, what does chat say? And we'll kind of do an eyeball test.
No, what I'll do tomorrow is I'll throw it on the Instagram R3,
Yeah.
and then whoever the biggest vote is.
Dallas Cowboys Chris says he had a shotgun for the win. My first
Nice.
solo run. Hey,
Nice.
respect.
That's right.
We went to Dallas Cowboy Chris's house yesterday. We hopped on we were mobbing it up like we're the New World Order in WCW when he was on his podcast, and we showed him how to shotgun some beers.
Cowboys Huddle. Anyone that wants to check out a great Cowboys podcast, check out Cowboys Huddle. It's great.
Evergotti5 says, "What's holding us back from the Super Bowl? I've never seen us win one before I was born in 1995.
Right.
I want to see us win."
Right now, penalties.
Yeah.
Undisciplined shit. Undisciplined play. Right now, to me, if we play the game like we know we can, which we watched in Minnesota, like we know what this team is capable, the sky's the limit. When we fuck around and get 13 penalties, we let a team that I think we're way better than in the Giants.
Yeah.
Like I think the Cowboys are a much better football team than the Giants. It shouldn't even been a fucking football game, but it was. And the reason it was is because we kept getting penalties. So to answer your question, right now, the only thing holding us back from hosting that Lombardi is stupid, undisciplined plays. In my mind.
How did you feel? How did you guys feel about that fourth down, going for the fourth down early on in the game?
I actually liked the call.
Yeah.
Me and the guy sitting beside us, we were both like, Jeb. Actually, they followed us. Jeb, if you're watching this, from Oklahoma. Me and him were both like, go for it, go for it. They went for it and they didn't get it. It's like, well, this is why we're not coaches.
I would rather see that than like a bullshit kick.
No, but you're in that weird zone where the kick is probably gonna. I think they were at that. Maybe they were after their own 40-yard line, if I remember correctly. So you're in this weird zone of kicking.
Right.
Cowboy Chris hated it.
Cowboy Chris hated it. Armando was good with the call.
I mean, this is one of those things. Obviously, it's easy to say what you wanted to do after the fact, but during the game, I was even screaming to go for it. So
yeah,
and it didn't work out. So maybe we should have kicked.
Yeah, you're that close to the line. It's like just fucking very surprising that we didn't get it. Like that. That's one of those ones where you're like, that's why you have Zeke on the team.
Well, I like
to take
the call.
That short yardage.
It's a very loaded question because I like the call to go with it. I don't know if I like the call that they went with.
I just gave Ad a nug.
Yeah,
I just dipped a nug for Ad.
It was good.
Was
you
it
know,
good? Yeah. Give him another one.
Yep.
I like it. It was aggressive, says Evergotti. Chris said we gave them the 3 points where he's not wrong.
No, Chris is completely right. We basically handed the 3 points over. We probably could have kicked and probably prevented them from getting points on the board at all there. You're 100%, you're right. But it's one of those things, Chris, if we do get it, it's weird. I guess it gets to a personal opinion. Usually Chris and I are we see on the same level here. Obviously, as soon as we didn't get it, I felt like I was saying the wrong.
It's right. Whether they made it or not, obviously, at the end of the day, we came out with the W. But in
George W.
In the context
baby.
of the move itself, I think the confidence that you're giving to your offense is one thing. Of course, I don't know how that plays out when you don't actually make it, but at least you're saying, hey, we trust you guys in this type of scenario. That
And
you can make it,
I'd like to see that they trusted them. That means a lot, but it still sucks when they don't get it.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I don't know how that confidence boost, quote unquote, actually plays out. if you say, hey, here's your chance, big guy, and then you don't,
and then you flub, and then you just come up short. Yeah, totally. Here, I'm giving you all the confidence, and now you didn't do what I just established all this confidence in you.
I will say this: I felt like Kellen Moore in the beginning of the game went back to his kind of wild offense,
like a little bit
throw happy,
pizza boy guy.
Yeah, but then things settled down, or he settled down. I don't know, and they went back to that.
Yeah,
the style that I like to see, and it played out. Now, no one went exceptional. The game was boring in that there was nothing wild to talk about, and it's funny to say that even when Michael
like, now that you say it was boring, I hate to say that it was boring, like live. Yeah. But compared to the games that we have went and saw live, like last year Raiders Cowboys game, fucking insane. Last weekend against Minnesota Vikings, fucking amazing. We were screaming the whole time. So this game did seem a little, I wouldn't say like
boring's the wrong word.
I know what you're saying though. It was like it didn't have the big splash.
It didn't
there
have
was
those
nothing splashy.
It didn't have those peaks that you wanted.
It didn't have the peaks that like we were trying to find shit to.
Yeah, and I think it's funny that we say that, and Michael Parsons got two sacks. So it's like, are we so numb now, or am I so numb?
Yes,
I should say.
Yes. It could be.
But the thing is, you're there live, so you want to have that extra kind of pizzazz.
But I don't even know if it's us because.
But at home, you wouldn't. I mean, at home, you'd be like, "Win's a win." We would never call a game boring.
Well, but
unless we were live.
At the time, like a lot of the time, I was the only person jumping up cheering, even around us.
Yeah.
Like there was times, like I forget what happened. Something would happen. It was like a second down pass that went incomplete, and I'm jumping up screaming, and no one else is. So, but like to me, I'll always go ham. I'll go ham and cheese. all the time.
I say that,
but I do. No, but I feel.
You
I
know
feel
what
the
I'm
same
saying,
way. I do feel the same way. There was lack of splash plays.
But then I throw this at you. Ezekiel Elliott ran for 92 yards and
He
a
had a good
touchdown.
game.
CeeDee Lamb caught for over 100 yards. Again, Micah Parsons got 2 sacks. So it's like these exciting moments happen. I think people will agree with us that it just there was nothing about the game where you were like, wow, look at think about that play.
The CeeDee
Lamb
catch, the CeeDee Lamb catch that was obviously overturned.
That was bullshit. That was
that was
a fucking touchdown.
That was a pretty big.
That
moment,
honestly,
though.
I was talking to AJ when CeeDee Lamb jumped up, one hands it, fucking places his feet perfectly.
Yeah.
I said to Alex, I was like, dude, if this is a catch, we literally just witnessed one of the best catches in NFL history.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's going to be debatable. I think a lot of people think it was a catch.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Chad's saying
It
it's a
looked
catch.
like a fucking catch,
Yeah.
man. We have the biggest screen in the planet that we were watching after the replay. You got AT&T Stadium, the biggest fucking screen in the world that you're looking at. I'm like, that looks like a touchdown to me.
Chat's
man.
calling it a touchdown. We Boogie in the chat saying the ref hyped it up. Hyped the call up way too much.
You said that.
They did.
Ad said
It was
that.
ridiculous.
Ad brought that up. Ad was like they were kind of like it was like the ref was like.
He
It
was
felt like we were
grandstanding
watching.
us.
Yeah, it was like we were watching WWE or something.
Yeah, it was brutal.
The ref was fucking playing it up.
And although he
That should have
did
been
make
that should have been a
the
gu-
reception, he didn't. I didn't even actually hear what the ruling.
Because
that he
I
wasn't.
think we started cheering actually.
we
Yeah.
did because he started
The way he
saying.
stuttered his way through the fucking call, it sounded like they were calling it a touchdown.
He was calling it a touchdown.
Not to mention the video proof looked like he fucking had a touchdown. So that was annoying. That was annoying.
And that's the shitty thing is, it's had it been called a touchdown on the field and then challenged, I bet you it would have obviously stuck.
This is the most annoying thing in the NFL.
50-50 flip.
This is the most annoying thing in the NFL to me. That it's like, if it's close, but it wasn't called a touchdown at the time, it automatically now the kicker is it wasn't called at the time, so we're not going to. That drives me nuts.
Yeah.
The whole point of challenging something is,
get the
you
call
guys
right.
didn't call it.
Yeah.
Now we're challenging it to try to get the right call. So I always hate that. Well, it wasn't called the proper. It was called this on the field. It's like, but that's why I'm challenging it in the first place, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of drives me a little bonkers.
I mean, I'm sometimes really shocked at how accurate the refs get their calls.
They are good.
You
man.
know, they do.
And
they do a
you know what? We
job.
do give shit to the refs quite a bit, but you look at these dudes. Like you're watching the NFL. These motherfuckers are running at Mach 50.
Yeah.
Doing some crazy shit. So these refs are trying to call it like, imagine like me and AJ could play pass with a baseball outside and drop it and not get the call right.
Yeah.
Like these guys are literally calling a football game when people are flying around them. And I would say most of the time they do a pretty good job.
I agreed. Yeah. 8-9 times out of 10.
Tyler Smith was struggling. Says, sure, surge reboot. I didn't
well,
notice.
well, it's tough. Like we're in the nosebleeds, right? Like we're sitting up in the nosebleeds. Oh shit, my mic's getting all kind of fucked up. We were sitting up in the nosebleeds. Still looks good, but it is tough to watch individual players. Like you can kind of see when you're up there. Like
No,
we could almost see Canada from where we were sitting.
We screwed up on we screwed up. I did, anyways. TP20 and Zeke so many times when they were out
AJ's like Zeke's in. I was like, oh yeah, that is Zeke. And then they call it. They're like Tony Pollard. I was like, yeah, fuck. I couldn't even see the number. Yeah. So it is tough to watch individual players, especially on the O-line. It is tough in regards. One of the hardest things when you're there is to just not look at that giant TV screen.
Yeah, and
It's hard, man. Like you have to make a conscious effort to not look at the giant fucking screen in front of you.
Yeah, I'll so how do we feel though the fact that we are 2-0 on our road trip, which is awesome.
2-0, boys.
Yep.
2-0.
And the Cowboys seem to have. I feel like it wasn't like no one called it a Thanksgiving curse, but the last 3 games we've lost.
Is that what
on
it was?
Thanksgiving Day? 6 out of the last 8 games we've lost.
Yeah, well, now it's
6 out of the last 8 games.
We're the
we've
last
lost.
3 though.
But
losses?
the last 3 were losses.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
It feels good to get that monkey off the back.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
that feels good. It feels good, especially against the Giants, who motherfuckers, we got to beat these guys. Like
for a game we needed to win.
If we would have lost to, I was saying this to you guys, obviously off cast, but I'll say it on the cast now. If we lose tonight, that Minnesota game means nothing.
Yeah.
That Minnesota game literally means nothing. Awesome, we beat the Minnesota Vikings, an 8-1 team. We fucking walloped them. But if we go into AT&T Stadium against the Giants on Thanksgiving Day and we lose to the Giants, that game means fucking nothing.
Yeah.
But now we're building wins. We're stacking wins.
No,
We're on a streak. We're on a 2-gamer.
the Cowboys have definitely done kind of an about face since and it was a very short time ago because of these 2 quick games.
Yep.
But after that loss, excuse me, after that
He's
loss,
alive. Hey, he's alive.
Cough
after
it
that
up.
GB loss,
That GB loss was tough.
yeah, it was tough. But now you think about it 2 weeks later with these 2 big wins, and one of them being a divisional rival and the other one being an 8-1 team. Confidence there is built.
But we're flying.
Really, honestly, wanted a stronger performance tonight.
I wanted to put him out.
I wanted to, yeah.
I honestly wanted to see a massacre. We didn't see a massacre, and it's tough to say, like, oh my God, I wanted to see us kill him, but I wanted to see, like, us come off this crazy win against Minnesota and then just double down and just throttle these dudes.
Wow.
With saying that, though, I actually read a stat out to add the other, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but the Cowboys last year, after walloping teams by 3 or 4 scores?
4 scores.
By four
Four
scores, we then ended up losing the game. So at least we didn't lose. You know, it looked a little grim at times. But man, fuck the Giants.
Fuck the Giants.
Fuck
we
the
won.
Giants.
It was a good win. Dallas Cowboys Chris said he wishes we went to the Green Bay game as well. We would have been 3-0 on our road trip.
That would have been dope.
Yeah, that would have been sweet.
Imagine a 3-gamer. Dude. I know it sounds funny, and I'm going to say this, but I'm burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all we've done is drink and talk about football
Yeah.
and drive. But I'm like, I honestly feel burnt out. Imagine we were going out.
Another game.
Granted, I would still do this for a living
for
if
sure.
I could.
Oh dear Lord. No, we'd get used to it. We'd have to do something with the sleeping scenario because I could not regain energy for 3 to 4 weeks with Adam snoring in the room next to me.
He's telling lies.
I snore. I've just
There's
been
no
lucky
way
enough to be by myself.
I mean, look.
I'm looking forward to the plane flight just to be like, oh, fucking peace and quiet.
He sleeps with his headphones in. He's having He's having the greatest time of his life. I don't even know what he's talking about.
I'm not mad. Hey, but
I wake up legitimately with my mouth completely dry because I've just been hacking fucking logs
Snoring?
all night.
Snoring darts.
Yeah, and depending on what vape, and I said it. What vape we get Adam?
Oh yeah.
He might just be out on his bed, hat on, editing bay open.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
and full asleep.
Oh yeah.
LSU's winning.
Listen. When you're on the road, you got to do what you got to do.
Oh, LSU's winning.
And it's all right. I'm fine completely falling asleep in the middle of working on something.
Oh yeah, it
happens.
happens.
It happens to all of them boys. You know what I'm saying?
I have the next 6 weeks.
Fuck with us,
here.
AJ. Is this whole season?
This is the rest of the season. These are our
It's kind of, isn't it sad
opponents.
a little bit? Isn't it sad when you're like, we only got 6?
We got 6 games left. It's ridiculous.
only 6 games, and
It's not a good time when you say that.
It's not a good feeling.
we've done this a few times, and I think each time we read it off, the perspective changes. So here's the last 6. Here's the last.
Give it to us, AJ.
We got the Colts, the Texans, the Jags, the Eagles on Christmas
'em.
Eve, the Titans, and the Commanders.
Okay,
What do you
AJ,
think?
let's back up.
Yep.
Let's go game by game, and let's just all think if it's a win or loss.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Colts playing at the Cowboys on December 4th.
Yeah, win.
That's a 10 a.m. game, or is that a night game?
That's a 5 p.m.
7:20.
game.
That's
Oh,
a night.
that's a
That's a
night
night
game.
one.
That's a 5
Yeah.
p.m. one.
I fucking hate night games.
Yeah,
I might just have
BSD
to
for
sleep
us.
at ads. That's a
Yeah,
win though.
that's a win.
It's got to be a win.
Colts win.
Colts got to be a win. That's our next. That's next weekend.
December 4th.
Next weekend,
Or 5th.
yes. Not this
okay,
weekend.
so
not this
like
weekend,
10
the
days.
weekend
Yeah,
after.
10
Yeah.
days from now.
10 days.
Yeah.
That's got to be a win, right?
It's a win.
Then we
Win.
got the Texans
Win.
at AT&T Stadium.
That's a morning game. That's got to be a win too.
It's a win.
That's got to be a fucking win.
It has to be a win.
If we can't lose to these scrub teams like that, like the Colts, yeah, they've done some stuff. To me, they're still a scrub team.
They're a scrub team at least right
Texans, now. The Texans, scrub team. We can't lose to them.
Yeah. And then next up,
tell me Jacksonville, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Jacksonville. Add it to the scrub. And we're going to Florida.
So what is this? We're just playing the fucking AFC South.
Scrubs. Yeah.
All we're doing is playing the AFC South.
I don't want no scrubs.
This actually happened earlier in the.
That's 3 easy wins, though. Not
easy.
I shouldn't say easy, but that's 3 easy to call wins.
But this is what happened. This is what happened earlier in the season. We played the NFC North consecutively. We played the Lions, the Bears, the give me
Bengals.
Else? No.
Commanders.
Packers.
Sorry.
Who did we
Bengals,
play? Lions,
Lions.
Bears, Lions, Bears, Packers, Vikings.
Yes.
We played them 4 in a row.
Yeah. Yes.
We played them 4 in a row. Now we're going to the AFC South, and it's the same thing. It's like Colts,
Jags,
Jags.
And then we
come
back to our own.
We split to fucking dummy the Eagles. But okay, sorry. I just had to say I don't understand why it's split this way.
But I think, again, those are 3 easy to call wins.
Those should be wins.
Those should be wins.
Should be wins.
But then we hit that roadblock. I shouldn't say roadblock, but it's, you know what? Everyone has this fucking game on their calendar,
Eagles.
and it's the perfect day. It's the day before Christmas. So
Christmas
everyone's
Eve.
going to be home with their eyes on the
Christmas
TV.
Eve's going to be lit.
And you know what? There's a very good chance we're going to be dealing with a 12-1 Eagles team.
Yeah, because they have an easy schedule too.
Yeah,
Well,
that's going to be a fun game, and I think the Cowboys can come to play. And the last time we played them, we were a bad backup quarterback throw away from tying that game up at least.
Even with Cooper Rush throwing the 3 picks against the Eagles, we were still in that game.
Yes.
There's no fucking reason that we cannot beat those guys.
Up until the last pick that was thrown there, that kind of sealed the deal.
Honestly, if I had to pick a game now, like if we could go rewind and just go to one game, that would be the one I'd want to see.
Get
Eagles
back.
at AT&T Stadium.
Yep.
Possibly the division on the line.
Well, we found out tonight that we're not going to
Philly.
go to Philly. So
We're not going to go to Philly. Fuck Philly. Fuck you.
Yeah,
fucking
we
pussies.
heard too much shit about going to Philly, and every other place seems fine. Minnesota was great, very.
Like we want to go.
accommodating,
We want to
felt safe.
visit places where it's like, yeah, sure, you don't like us because we're playing against you, but we can still have a beer together and call each other bitches and like laugh about it.
I don't want to be spit on. I don't want to
spit
I don't want
on.
to have shit done to me.
If someone spits on me or throws a beer at, not even on me, if someone spits on either of these guys or throws a beer at us, we're now getting we're getting into a fist fight. And we're not going to a sporting event. We're not spending multiple hundreds and thousands of dollars.
I don't want to spend any more time in Philadelphia
to possibly
than
go
I need to.
possibly go to jail. So.
Exactly.
Fuck you,
Especially
Philly.
Philly jail. It's probably like worse than trash.
Use guys.
Yeah, Philly. I like your comedians and the actors that come out of your area. But other than that, fuck yourself.
Yeah, we're not gonna go there. We'll figure it out. Possibly, maybe we are gonna go to a playoff game. Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Yeah.
If man, we might be going. The Cowboys might be going to Seattle for the wild card round. And
Selfishly, we could hope for that.
you know your boys are gonna be there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, and maybe good seats. Like
It will have to be good seats.
we're rolling. We're rolling to Seattle no matter what if we play them in
Yeah.
playoffs. Like
Yeah,
playoffs.
playoffs.
We're 3 hours away. We're rolling fucking hard.
And what's the
Probably
chances?
Right now, that's who we'd play.
So if things
Right now,
keep
that's
going
who we play.
at the same pace,
Yeah.
we're gonna end up playing those fucking
Geno
birds.
fucking Smith.
And even if we don't play them in the wild card round, if we win our round, there's a good chance we play them in the divisional, which I would actually even rather have. And even one up, maybe we play them in the fucking NFC Championship game. Could you imagine Cowboys at Seattle in the NFC Championship game? We literally could just drive there. Like that to me would be fucking epic.
Yeah, it'd be good.
That'd be epic.
That'd be a good time.
Well, if the NFL can just work that out for us.
Yeah, NFL figure it out.
Come on.
It is selfish because obviously you want the home games, but it would be dope. It'd be dope.
kind of a home game for us a little bit.
For us, it would be.
Yeah, a CanFan home
Pacific
game.
Northwest.
CanFan home game.
Well, I honestly feel like the Pacific Northwest harbors a lot of Cowboys fans, and we'd be rolling with a crew.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck
Like
yeah.
we'd be rolling 10 deep.
Yeah.
I feel like we'd have 10
Brother
deep
Adrian
rolling.
and brother
yeah, Nate
and,
Dogg,
brother Nate Dogg.
Oh yeah, and then you got Morph Dog. Like we'd be rolling 10 deep.
Shit, maybe even Bandwagon Baba's coming.
Oh,
For sure.
We'd be rolling 10 deep. We'd be rolling 10
It'll
deep.
be a good game. When it
That's a
happens.
lot. That's a long ways away. The
Yeah.
NFC Championship.
We're getting
game
way
is-
ahead of
Yeah, we
ourselves.
are, but it's fun to talk about a little
Yeah.
bit.
Hey, we got new
Oh yeah,
yes,
towels.
Towels. So that's nice.
What do these ones say? I didn't
These ones feel thicker.
They- yeah,
I like
they're
the
different.
material
And they,
better.
and they have like a
do they
certified
say?
hologram on there.
Miller Lite ones.
Just says Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys,
Well.
and debatable. And then they
Debatable.
have that fucking sticker.
It's
on
nice that we got these new ones because AJ's other towel was
It's
so
so
drenched
gross.
in cum.
And dirt.
And these ones feel like they're more
And beer.
absorbent, so this is nice.
Our other towels were pretty.
AJ can't wait
gross.
to sop it up with that.
Sop up that sloppy.
Hey, favorite part of the day today for you guys?
Favorite part, I mean, the rain really put
A damper.
tried to put a damper on us, but we still pushed through with good spirits.
Yep.
Look, we were walking around, and we're where usually there's a lot of people who are walking around before the game. They were packing. up and stuff,
Everyone
yeah.
was just trying to head into the arena.
exactly.
It was raining pretty good.
That was a bit of a miss. I would just say, actually, no. When we carved out our section again,
Yep.
and Kilo was able to come over
Kilo
for,
C, yeah. Kilo C was with us, yep.
and the boys behind us, the Canadian crew.
Yeah, we had other
that
Canadians
was
behind us.
interesting. That was just hilarious.
Yeah.
So the maybe 5 or 6 guys in a row behind us, sitting behind me and Adam and Ant, they were from Canada as well, and so I don't know. It was a good game. Again, nothing outstanding about it. I had a good time.
I feel weird saying that too.
Yeah, it was just
I feel the same way.
there was nothing like the Minnesota game just had massive.
Do you think we blew our load too early with Minnesota?
for sure.
On the trip?
Maybe, but also
win's a
even
win's a win, though.
Hey,
A win is a
exactly,
win.
and if we just came here for this game, it would still be the same game.
I honestly though, if we were just here for this game, I think we may have been a little bit more jacked up. But
Yeah.
we had some. I mean, the Minnesota game was just
so good.
so dominating.
Yeah,
The thing with the Minnesota game, it was dominating. The tailgating was awesome beforehand. With the cold, even with the cold weather, we kind of integrated ourselves with everybody. This one, it was like we were a little bit aimless. It was so wet. It was gross. Talked to another fellow podcaster before the game, and we had some good chats. And then we kind of tossed some beers around to some people walking by as the rain poured down.
I would say
I think that set the tone. That set the weird kind of tone of the day.
I would say like our best as far as like interaction goes with people. The best interaction was the 20-minute we did after.
Yeah.
Like
Right,
after
yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
When
With
I was
people.
just screaming, I was
Yeah.
just getting everybody jacked up.
And it wasn't raining, and then we
It wasn't
were
raining.
kind of
yeah.
walking
I
everywhere.
mean, I'm never gonna bitch about being at a Cowboys game because I
No.
fucking love it. And it literally walking into AT&T Stadium, seeing the field, seeing everybody, it's like you get like goosebumps a little.
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
You get goosebumps a little bit. It's just like
It's a wonderful stadium. I love the seating.
I
it's
felt
amazing.
good once we were in and sitting down. It's like, okay, we've been talking about this for a long time.
Yeah.
Now that we're there, this is great.
Yeah.
We hit both games, 2 games 1 week, which was
2 games in 5 days, baby.
2 games in 5 days,
Hey.
which was something that we've wanted to do for
2
a
games in
while.
5 days, son.
Are you
Yeah.
who is excited? Who is happy though that it is a weekend so that we can get some rest?
So
Yeah.
glad.
Oh yeah,
I'm so fucking. I'm honestly. I'm pretty excited to just. And it's funny, like to like bitch that like. Oh man,
I know,
I'm tired.
I know.
That, but it was a tiring week.
yes.
But I loved it. I loved every fucking minute of it. I really
Yeah.
did, and I can't wait to do it next year.
Oh yeah.
Next year we're already making plans for next Thanksgiving,
Well,
American
look,
Thanksgiving Canadian road
the
trip.
the year before we got hit with the cold spell, so it was like it was warm today,
It was warm.
but it wasn't cold, but it was rainy as fuck.
it
So
was
now we
hammering
know.
rain.
Now we're like, okay, so it can either be cold as fuck, can be warm the night before, and then get real cold. Okay, so check.
Texas,
now,
man.
Yeah, now it's okay. It can also just have a be raining fucking buckets. Okay.
Literally this morning.
Yeah.
Well, it was thundering and lightning.
Yes.
And it was
Yeah.
literally like fucking hammering rain.
So now we have to be like, okay, just basically be prepared for everything.
Tay just gave a heart, so I'm waving.
Sup,
black
Tay
heart.
Tay?
Hey, Tay Tay. What do you?
Yeah.
Anything else we want to
Hey,
talk
Tay
about?
Tay, like and subscribe.
Hey, like Cowboys CanFan.
Like and
Like
subscribe.
and subscribe.
No-
Not a lot. I mean, I think the fact that
Anything in chat?
no, chat's been pretty solid. We've been talking about. Actually, one thing, Indianapolis feels a little bit like a trap game.
I mean, I feel like we've said
All
that
of
about
these
every.
could
That's
be.
from Boogie.
Yeah,
That's from Boogie.
I agree. It could be a trap game.
And look,
It
let's
could be
be honest.
definitely.
The way that the Cowboys played tonight, they played strong enough, but they
played down to their opponent.
They did, and they were one or two mistakes away from losing that game. So let's not be too smug going into these next few games. I do feel very confident, even like I said, playing to the opponent.
Yep.
I still think, okay, we're gonna come out on top.
AJ, I don't like these multi-interception games that we keep getting.
Yeah.
It feels like
No.
like this. Like we can't throw 2 picks in a game
No,
because it's going to lose us a game. It did already. It lost us against Green Bay.
Green Bay's interceptions felt and were also analyzed to be like these were more than likely mistakes made by the run.
Maybe we need to look at the interceptions that happened tonight because maybe it happened again.
Perhaps, but I felt like,
Yeah.
and you know what? The more football we watch, I think we can feel more confident in what we say. And guess what? We also tell you don't come here for analysis.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Anyone
feel,
that's coming here
yeah.
for analysis, get the fuck out of here.
But I do feel like that the passes, even if they weren't, there was one cutback route where I think you probably could have cut back quicker.
Towards the end
but
zone?
still, you're the one pulling the trigger.
Yep.
And where you're pulling the trigger, I have more empathy for understanding when you're pulling the trigger where he's supposed to cut across the safety. Whereas where it's a pullback route, you still...
You still got to make that decision.
It's not the same throw. It's not a timing throw as much as it's like, oh, okay, now he's open. Now I'm going to throw to this guy.
Right.
Maybe there's timing involved in that too. But look, I'm open to seeing the analysis, but it felt like these interceptions were less on the receivers and more on Dak.
Yeah, more on Dak.
And that's okay.
Well, because even us sitting in the studio for that Green Bay game, I think we instantly said that it looked like it was on the receiver. Whereas tonight, we were kind of like
the one on
the
the one to Gallup. I think it was the first interception.
I
Definitely was not.
I don't even remember the second one really.
I think the second one was closer to the end zone.
Second
The
one
first one was
at-
on the sideline.
Okay, second one, you're right, was it was the tip very near the end zone.
Oh, to CeeDee
now
Lamb.
it was a tip, but
To CeeDee Lamb.
it was a
Yeah.
risky throw
was
in the first place. But
Right.
also, that's how you make plays.
so
So
you
I'm
gotta
not
throw
gonna fucking shit on the
don't
guy
need
for
his-
doing that.
That one
That
is
means
like
lunch.
whatever. It's the one I think to Gallup at the
Yeah,
first
the
interception.
first
on
one.
the
Is
sideline.
that the sideline one?
And it
Yeah,
was-
sideline.
I think Dak went. I think Dak was.
It looked like he was trying to
underthrew it.
throw it out of bounds, but
I think he
didn't.
he underthrew it and he underthrew it, and
It was
the
supposed to
quarterback
be
had a jump on it.
It was supposed to be a I don't know what the terminology, but he was faking running a streak, and he was supposed to cut back hard to the sideline and get
Yeah.
the ball. From the looks of it, if memory serves me correct, his cut was really short and not quick enough, and Dak anticipated it quicker. He still threw the ball,
And then the
guy
corner got out
just
there.
made the play on it.
Corner got out there.
Second one was
That CeeDee Lamb
a
drop
bot
or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
that one's tough.
And again, we can argue all day.
'Cause
I
that
like
could be- that could be a touchdown.
It could be a huge play down. So you got to make those passes, and I like the confidence in the throw.
Yep.
And you know what? Dak has that. Call it an issue when he throws the interceptions, and call it a fucking gift and his style when he's throwing deep
Dimes.
throws. But he is okay with throwing those kind of risky passes. Sometimes I think they are too risky, but I'll bite my tongue because they turn out to be touchdowns sometimes too. So,
Okay, boys.
That is the Burger King post game episode.
Okay. Hey,
For the Cowboy CanFan.
2-0.
2-0,
2-0
baby.
this year. 2-0. Our trip, we went 2-0. We ain't gonna eat your lunch over that. We're back to 1-1 on Thanksgiving Day game.
we're not going to eat your Burger King's lunch over that with 12 grams of protein in every bite. Burger King.
We had a great
eat
time.
your lunch over that.
We're like, obviously, you said the game was a little lackluster. We still had an awesome time.
Yeah, great time.
We had an awesome time. We had an amazing time.
We're going to be back again, baby.
We're coming back next year, and I feel like we're gonna have a crew next year.
yeah.
Yep.
Like,
Hopefully it doesn't rain.
we'll be better prepared.
We'll be better prepared.
But
yeah.
I do feel like we're gonna be rolling down with the crew next year.
Yep.
I don't know what else you guys got to say. I'm happy.
How
We
about
got
them
2
Cowboys?
wins. How about them Cowboys? Like,
Yeah.
let's get it.
How about them Cowboys?
Colts, you're next, bitch.
You're next.
Fuck you, Peyton Manning.